Have we become so used to dysfunction that we now defend it? This woman's rent was increased by almost 400%, but the most disturbing part was not the increase, but how people quickly blamed her instead of thinking whether this could happen to any of us. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Madam Chiomzi. I relocated from the UK to Nigeria about 11 months ago, and I shared my experience here in Nigeria and give my honest opinion about things that are happening. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the video of the lady that lives in Banana Island that came out to share her experience or what she was going through in regards to her rent, and how her landlord has increased her rent for her apartment by almost 400%. But before I talk about the increase, I would like to talk about something that really shocked me about this story: the comment section. Instead of people discussing whether such an increase was fair, ethical, or reasonable, what they did was that they turned to the woman herself and started blaming her. What are you doing in Banana Island? You shouldn't be living in Banana Island. If you cannot afford to live in Banana Island, you should move. Go get somewhere. And I'm sitting there and I'm asking myself, have we missed the point? That's not what we should be asking. We should be asking, how come we have a system where rents are not regulated, where a landlord thinks it's okay to wake up and increase their rent by almost 400%. You guys know what 400% is. I'm not saying the point is not whether she lives in Banana Island or she's not supposed to live in Banana Island. That could happen to anybody. I don't care where you live in any part of the country. If your landlord increase your rent by almost 400%, the question I have for you today, would you be happy? Whether you live in the hoodest of the hood, or you live in the most bougie part of the country, that's not the question. Nobody would be happy for their landlord to increase their rent by 400%. It was 392%. 88% is nothing. We'll just call it 400%. Nobody will be happy. Nobody will be happy for a 100% increase. How much more 400%? For me, this conversation is bigger than one woman in Banana Island. It's about housing security. It's about fairness. It's about stability. How can someone live a stable life if they keep having an increase of 400%? It's not 400% increase in onions or tomatoes. It's house. Housing is the most expense that a person will make monthly or yearly, and you're doing that 400%, the increase 400%. So people have to think about what the issue is. What's the problem with a system that people think is okay to do that? That's what we should be thinking about, and think deeply about it and critically about it. It's not that she went and increased pure water by 400%. Then anybody can just wake up, okay, I can pay that. It doesn't matter. This is her accommodation, rent. So even if it's you that you're paying 1 million and your landlord increases it by 400%, that means that you start paying 4 million. Do you think you can afford it really? So it's beyond her. So let's focus on what the issue is here, and leave the woman alone and her banana, whether she's supposed to live in Banana Island or you don't know her. And it's not your business. That's not your business. So let's face the one now that can affect anybody, any one of us. And if it doesn't affect us, it can affect us through our relatives or friends. So this culture of always blaming the victim, and that was what we did. Or rather what people did in that comment section, was to victimize her again. She's a victim of a system that is not functioning, of a system that is flawed. And what we now did again, we came and victimized her again. Instead of we lending a voice to watch, or rather, lending our voices to speak out against this injustice. That's what I would call it. The unfairness is very moral, to be honest. That's what it is. Nobody prepares for a 400% increase immediately. You increase the rent gradually. But instead, even reactors, people that came to react to it, people are just talking nonsense. And that will give you a perspective of the minds of an average Nigerian. Oh, why shouldn't landlords increase their rent? After all, you're making money from your business. Nobody says landlords should not increase their rent. But what I want to ask, if inflation, or rather if you go to buy tomatoes or whatever you go to buy, the things we buy or shop, has it been increased by 400% overnight? That's what you should be asking. That you think that it's fair for someone to wake up and they're telling the person to pay an amount that's 400% larger or increase from what the person is paying. That's not fair in any way. So the mentality of, I keep saying it, and that was when I did that video. Let me not just repeat it. Sometimes it's wickedness. People can be wicked in a way that, I know, yeah, everywhere in the world, if you don't have regulations, you see people. But are people just, when people come out, and what shocked me most wasn't even the landlord increase, because this is Nigeria, so we know it will happen. But the average person thinks, they're not talking about how this was not a right thing. It was very unethical and inhuman to act, the landlord acting that way. No, all we're concerned about is what's she doing in Banana Island. Do you know her? Were you the one that's been paying her rent up till now? So how does it make sense saying what's she doing there? I bet you, had it been that woman was not dressed the way she was dressed, some people will say she's a prostitute. Maybe it's one sugar daddy that's paying her rent, and the sugar daddy cannot pay again. But because she was dressed, tying a scarf and wearing boo-boo, so they didn't focus on that. Just with the young lady that was assaulted in the plane. I think, was it last year or last 2 years? I cannot remember. All people were focused how she was not wearing bra. And we thought it was okay for someone to harass a woman that way and tear her clothes. So that mindset of leaving what we are supposed to focus on and be victimizing the victim, it's as if we don't understand what is right and what is wrong. That was a part for me that was really, really appalling. All people were focused on was like, what's she doing in Banana Island? Maybe she shouldn't be living there. And so? But that's not the point. The point is, was it fair for the landlord to increase the rent by 400%? There's nowhere in the world that anybody, sensible person, will agree with that it's fair for landlord to increase their rent by 400%. It's only in Nigeria that people think it's okay. That 400% increase is okay. And people were there defending the landlord and how they built the house. They've not gotten their money. They've not done that. Rental income is a long-term thing. You're not going to get your money in 1 year. If you go build a house to rent it out, you're not going to get back your profit or your gain. You're not going to, capital, you won't even see your capital in 1 year. So I don't understand, or in a few years, you will not. Instead of us discussing, or people discussing about, having conversations about housing policies and rent regulation, no. Instead of attacking the person experiencing it. It's very appalling. And that mindset or mentality is really dangerous, because what it does is that bad practices keep going on, nobody's checking it. Instead of we to be blaming what we're supposed to be blaming, or looking at what the government is not doing, we start blaming her. So the landlord will feel justified too. Other landlords too will think it's okay. After all, nobody is blaming the landlord. So that landlords will think it's okay to wake up and increase their rent by such a huge margin. That some people can't afford that percentage increase, or that increase in rent. That's a 400% increase, does not make it right. So that's for people that say that comment section, they were saying if you cannot afford Banana Island, leave Banana Island. There's a difference between affordability and fairness. What's the problem here is fairness. So that someone can afford a 400% increase in rent, does that justify the extreme increase? No, it doesn't. So we have to look at it. What's the question here? What's the problem with this whole story? The problem here is fairness. If a loaf of bread increases to, let's say, 1 million naira, there are people that can still afford it. There might not be much, just a few people can afford it. But does that make it right? Absolutely not. So I'm just trying to that we'll start thinking that we'll listen to ourselves, people coming in the comment section and making commenting and blaming the lady. Another thing is about stability, or the unpredictability of things that we have to look at. If that's very, very, very unpredictable, no tenant will predict that the landlord is going to increase their rent by 400%. No. So if that's a thing that is common, how would people plan their finances? That throws people in a state of extreme anxiousness and make their life very, very unstable. Another thing that came to my mind when I saw that video of the lady was what I keep saying to people that in diaspora that are planning to relocate to Nigeria or Africa. I'll just focus on Nigeria because I don't know about other African countries, as in how housing is regulated there. Don't come here unless it's a temporary thing and think you're going to depend on renting. I've said it. Don't come here and think you're going to depend on renting. If you want peace of mind, just go buy your house or build your house. Let that woman be an example. There's so many examples, but let her be an example to anyone that is thinking of renting. When you come to Nigeria permanently, you're relocating permanently. That's an example of what I was talking about. That there are crazy people that will just wake up and that's it. Increase the rent and start threatening someone. As the woman said, her electricity was cut off. She even had an accident. Nobody's talking about that. They're blaming her. Nobody's thinking about what she's going through. So if you're coming here from the diaspora, as I said, you're coming to relocate here permanently, you've got to build your house. Or you buy your house. Because unfortunately, see where we are. You see the country we're in. Regulations are not that strong, and even if we have them, they're not properly enforced. That woman, God save her, she might just be wasting her time. Not wasting her time. She did the right thing coming out on social media, talk about her situation. But unfortunately, I won't be surprised if nothing is done about it. Probably the landlord is one high. I've got friends in high places. Maybe like those type of people. And nothing will be done. In fact, they might start harassing her. That's the kind of place. And it's so sad. It's so sad. But that's the society we live in. But as I said, what's so annoying is that the average person that is suffering every day didn't even see what was wrong, didn't even think, oh, this could happen to me, it could happen to my brother, it could happen to my sister. That's dangerous for landlords to think that they can wake up and increase rent by 400%. So you live in diaspora, you know your landlord cannot wake up and increase rent by 100%. It's not going to happen. If they do it, you can take them to court. I know in the UK, it will not happen. Because you're covered to an extent. There are regulations that would protect you. But here, the woman is coming on social media to think that maybe all of us will join and fight her battle. People still blaming her. People still blaming her. So you're on your own. So just know that even if you can fight, but you don't want that. You want peace of mind. You just want to come and just do your thing. And as I said, in Nigeria, you have to be your own government. Don't leave anything for anybody to want to, especially your housing. Don't. Let nobody be in control of your housing. You should be in control of it. Whether it's your one room, do that one room is your own. I think that is better for you than depending on any form of renting, because I tell you, people are greedy. And most people, unfortunately, don't give a damn about the next person. Sorry to say. Just that's how I see it. And if you know this, it will spare you a lot of grief. The average person here don't give a damn about you. All they give a damn about is their pocket. One reactor was there talking, the landlord will go and pick the child from airport. We pay 3,500. What did he even say? They're comparing to 400%. These are the nonsense they are trying to add. Then you see the ones that probably they're into property agents or whatever they call them, or raters or what now. Those ones, too, instead of them to say truth, because it's their own business, that's where they gain. They will want landlord to increase so that they get commission or whatever. So everybody's speaking for their own pocket and their tummy. So you're on your own. Most people here lack integrity. That's the truth of the matter. Let's just face the fact. So you've got to bear that in mind. Just bear that in mind. You're on your own when it comes to things like this. So just put yourself in a position where you don't have to go and be the one on social media. You get me? Aim for your peace of mind. It's very important. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, that'll be it for today. Thank you guys for listening to this point. I would like to hear from you guys, actually. I would like to hear what you think about what I've said. Am I wrong? Please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would like you to, or I beg you to subscribe to my channel. Like and share my video. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.